someone requires you to pay money in order to apply for a scholarship, that is... Hello everyone and welcome back to China Admissions. Today we're going to be going over a couple reasons why you might not be qualified for a scholarship. So a lot of students ask us about scholarships. This is probably the question we get about the most. And of course, most students want to know if they're eligible for a scholarship. A lot of people have heard, especially about the Chinese government scholarship, otherwise known as the CSC scholarship, and have a lot of questions regarding it. So today we're going to be going over why some people might not be qualified for the scholarship. So number one, if you're interested in doing a medical program. Medical programs are in general not covered by any scholarships. They are not covered by the CSC scholarship, which doesn't cover them because they're very competitive. There are a lot of students applying to them. It's a very long program and very expensive program. So that is not covered by the Chinese government scholarship. It's in general not covered by most scholarships. We can't rule out all because obviously we don't have all the information of all the scholarships that are always going on, but in general, there aren't really scholarships for medical programs. Keep this in mind as there is a lot of fake information out there which tries to lure in students by saying you can get a scholarship even if you want to study MBBS, you want to study a medical bachelor's, and then they say, okay, but you need to pay us some money and then we'll definitely guarantee you a scholarship. This is not the case. There are in general not really scholarships for medical programs. So please don't believe these different agencies that say that there are. So just be sure to apply only for scholarships by yourself, not through an agency, to do it directly through a university or scholarship council. And that is the best way that you can ensure that nobody is taking your money in order to apply. Also, just note that if someone requires you to pay money in order to apply for a scholarship, that is not correct. So if you're applying to a scholarship council and it seems like it could be fake, if they're asking you to pay money, in general, that's not what scholarship councils ask for. In general, you need to just give an application in, and if your application is good enough, you'll be chosen for a scholarship. You don't need to pay money in order to apply for the scholarship. Number two, you want to study an English taught bachelor's. So this is mainly aimed at the CSC scholarship. The CSC scholarship does not cover English taught bachelor's programs. It only covers Chinese taught bachelor's programs. So just keep this in mind when you're applying. There are other scholarships available out there. So if you're looking at the university's internal scholarships, or if you're looking at some provincial scholarships, it might be qualified in there. But just keep that in mind that for the CSC scholarship, English taught bachelor programs are not included. Number three, you want to apply for a non-degree program. There are some scholarships that cover non-degree programs. But again, I'm talking about the CSC scholarship. The CSC scholarship does not cover non-degree programs. It only covers degree programs. That means bachelor's, master's, PhD. So just keep this in mind when you're applying. I know that there are some other students that have stated that some universities have some internal scholarships that you can get, or they get some scholarships from their own government that covers non-degree programs. But for the CSC scholarship, it doesn't cover non-degree programs. You want to apply for an MBA. MBA programs, like medical programs, are in general not covered by the CSC scholarship. Keep in mind that if you want to apply for an English taught master's program, this is actually covered by the CSC scholarship as long as it's with a public university and it's not an MBA. If you are applying for an MBA, it would be best for you to take a look at the different internal scholarships that the universities have to offer. So I hope this helped you guys with your application process and seeing if you are eligible for a scholarship. It's always worth it to check to see if you're eligible for scholarships and to check directly on the university websites to see if there are any internal scholarships that you might be eligible for. The university websites in general also will show the government scholarships as well as the provincial scholarships if there are any for that year. If you're unsure about the scholarships that are available, it's best to send an email directly to the university you want to apply for to see, because maybe their website hasn't been updated or they just haven't put the information out yet, and they can let you know about that directly. Another thing I just want to add is that China Admissions does not assist with scholarship applications. So this means that you'll have to apply for the scholarship directly with the university or the scholarship council if you want to apply for a scholarship.